How's everyone doing? It's been a long time since we've done a stream. It's actually been since the USA versus Mexico final, and there's a lot to talk about. A lot has happened lately. There's been this rumor of Gio Reyna going to LAFC in Major League Soccer. We're going to talk about that because I have a bit of a conspiracy theory towards it. However, I do need to address one thing because I have been accused by Tom Booger, not Tom Bogert, Tom Booger. Okay, he said that several notable MLS USMNT content creators are now confirmed to be in the list. You know, the list of the files that are not released and shall not be named, including but not limited to MLS moves and also tactical manager. This is what I'm going to say about these rumors from Tom Booger. Again, this is not Tom Bogert, it's Tom Booger. It's the cool version of Tom Bogert. I cannot deny or confirm these rumors. So we're going to move on from it. We're going to have to just move on from it, and we're going to talk about U.S. men's national team because it's a lot more important, right? U.S. men's national team transfers are way more important than this. So we're just going to completely ignore it. And let's talk about this Gio Reyna to LAFC. And then obviously we're going to talk about Johnny to Atletico, Malik Tillman to Leverkusen. Timothy Weah looks like he's going to go back to France. And then we have Cole Campbell. He looks like he might get a move to Europe, staying in the Bundesliga, unlike Gio Reyna. And then you also have the almighty Agimon, a great Digimon. Could have been a Pokemon, but not a Pokemon. He's a Digimon. He has gone to Derby County, and there's a lot to talk about there as well. We also had this week rumors of Christian Pulisic. There was like interest from Saudi Arabia, but apparently Christian Pulisic rejected any Saudi offer. And this is interesting because I was already preparing different ways of making that transfer not happen, right? Obviously, I don't have that much power, but if for some reason, let's say Milan accepts an offer from Saudi Arabia, we have to make up some rumors and get this deal to not go through, right? I don't know, put out there that Christian Pulisic gambles and he drinks a lot, or just say that Pulisic's gay. That might cancel the deal with Saudi Arabia. So we cannot let Christian Pulisic go to Saudi Arabia. But lucky for us, he doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia. He rejected it. And I'm not going to lie, it scared me for a second simply because, again, they can offer a lot of money. So sometimes it can be a bit shaky. But it looks like Christian Pulisic's not going to go to Saudi Arabia. So Gio Reyna had that rumor that he might go to MLS. There's probably not enough offers, right, in Europe. We don't know. And then this account, MLS Transfers. And understand that this account, MLS Transfers, it's a bit of a hit or miss with them, or him or her or them. I don't know if it's one person, two people, or just AI running this account at this point. But they've gotten stuff right and they've gotten a lot wrong. But this is what they had to report about Gio Reyna. I'm not saying this is true. I'm not saying it's not true. I just don't know. It's kind of like the whole the list thing that we just talked about, right? So this is what he said. Gio Reyna update. LAFC called in late June, but there's been no contact since. Late June, that's like 2-3 weeks ago. So if they called and there's been no contact, it's probably cold. Again, if this is true. St. Louis, they have interest. That I don't know what it means. That I don't know. I don't know if Gio Reyna also wants to go to St. Louis and what are they going to offer. So again, I don't know what that means. They have interest. His agency has offered him to Benfica. Gio wants to leave Germany, but some of the strongest calls are coming from the Bundesliga. A few managers out of work admire him, like Pellegrino and Schmidt. So let's put it this way. Gio Reyna, why am I saying that the whole MLS thing is a conspiracy? You know how we were joking about Tom Booger? So there's the other version of Tom Booger. We have Tom Bogert. And he's usually, like him or not, he's very reliable with MLS news, right? Like him or not, he would be my go-to for like transfers. If he's reporting it, he was probably fed by the league or by teams in the league themselves, right? The guy is very well connected with MLS. Some might even argue he's a mouthpiece for Major League Soccer. By some, I mean myself. But Tom Bogert has not talked about Gio Reyna to LAFC. And considering the fact that this is the son of Claudio Reyna, he is in the picture for the U.S. men's national team. He is an important player if he's playing, right? And we're 1 year away from the 2026 World Cup. I find it odd that he would not mention about Gio Reyna attracting any MLS interest so far. That's my point, right? So that's the conspiracy. It's like, why is Tom Bogert not talking about this at all? Of course, you can argue back and you can strike back at me by saying, well, he hasn't really denied the rumors also. Yeah, but like, why would he waste his time doing that, right? It's more of one of those cases where it's like, if it's true, would he not get the information and just put out there saying, yeah, there was interest or something? It's just odd to me. And I mean, obviously, I might just be saying a bunch of stupid shit right now. Tom Bogert could come out with breaking news like in like 10 minutes from now and just say Gio Reyna signs with LAFC. That could happen. But my overall point here is, look, his and take it for what it's worth. It's like, obviously, MLS transfers, definitely not as reliable as Tom Bogert for transfer news. He said his agency offered him to Benfica. So his agency is trying to offer him to European clubs. And it looks like MLS teams have contacted Gio. Looks like LAFC, if that happened, even though, like I said, Tom Bogert hasn't reported on any of that. So what I'm thinking is happening here is there was interest from MLS. MLS teams know Gio Reyna wants to leave. They might have contacted, and the agent is putting that out to the public to try to use it as leverage when negotiating with some teams in Europe. Now, I don't think Benfica's a. I follow Benfica a bit. Gio could play there, possibly. They're usually very intense, right? And Gio Reyna is not a player known for being very intense off the ball, right? We're talking about stuff off the ball, not just on the ball when we're analyzing a player here. I don't think Benfica would be the ideal one, even though I think in the Portuguese league, playing for a dominant team like Benfica, Sporting, Porto, I think Gio Reyna would do very well if he's in shape, if he's in form, if he's healthy, if his mind is in the right place. Now, that's what I think about the MLS conspiracy. At the time of this live stream, we don't really have any official updates in regards to Gio Reyna. I don't think MLS is a good move. And I've talked about this before because you'll see takes like this one from our beloved Alexi Lalas, for example. This is on his YouTube channel, State of the Union podcast. Look at that, me giving him free advertisement right there for Alexi. It's not paid. On the contrary, so Alexi said, I don't care where Gio Reyna plays as long as he plays soccer. Yeah, that's a bit of it's an interesting take, right? Because in that case, let him go to USL or just play UPSL and let Gio Reyna score 5 goals per game and he's playing soccer, right? I care where Gio Reyna plays. I think he needs to be challenged. I think he needs to play in the best league that he can, right? If MLS is the best league that he can play, so be it. Play in MLS if that's the best league that he can play. But I'm a strong advocate for a player playing at the highest level that he can play. And I think before Gio makes the decision of going to MLS at age, 22 right now for Gio Reyna, I would say it's probably best for him to try somewhere else in Europe first. Whether it is the Bundesliga, go to a team that maybe he'll get minutes right away, unlike Borussia Dortmund. Whether it is the Eredivisie, even though I don't think Ernie Stewart wants to deal with the Reynas at this point after what happened with the Berhalter saga. And when I say Gio stay in Europe, I'm saying stay in a top 5 league because he'll be playing against much better competition in Major League Soccer. And if he doesn't go to a top 5 league, if he's going to like Portugal or the Eredivisie or whatever he's going to, then it has to be for a top club where he gets some Champions League soccer. Okay. Now, the other reason I find it interesting about Gio Reyna MLS rumors that he'll go there, about them just being a conspiracy theory and just not being true, or just being a rumor to leverage his offers in Europe, because I'm sure there has to be some interest. Because look at this. And by the way, USMNT only is not the source. I think they're reporting it based off sources in Germany. And it says 19-year-old Borussia Dortmund and US winger Cole Campbell is drawing interest from 2 Bundesliga clubs, Stuttgart and Eintracht Frankfurt. Eintracht is the team that also has Paxton Aronson, with Stuttgart leading the way. Dortmund are currently reportedly demanding 6 to 7 million euros. So they're demanding that for Cole Campbell, considering Gio Reyna's injury history, all that crap, and honestly, like the fact that it's the last year of his contract. I'm assuming they would also charge a low fee for Gio Reyna. If there are clubs interested in freaking Cole Campbell, no offense to Cole Campbell, he is a promising winger, right? But we've seen Gio do better in the Bundesliga than Cole Campbell. We've seen him do better with the U.S. national team, even though Cole Campbell never played for the U.S. senior national team, just youth teams. It's hard for me to believe that Gio Reyna only has interest from MLS. I'm sorry, it's just hard for me to believe. Unless Dortmund is asking for like 20 million euros, but then Dortmund, that would just prove to me that that club is run by a bunch of imbeciles. If they're asking for that offer right there, something like that for Gio, I don't see how he doesn't make it. Okay, but everyone, if you just made it to the stream, don't forget to drop a like and remember what we talked about earlier in the stream. If Saudi Arabia comes for Pulisic, we make up rumors that Pulisic drinks a lot. We make up rumors drinks alcohol. Can't do that. That's a no-no. Maybe make rumors that Pulisic's gay. Maybe make rumors that he gambles. We cannot let Pulisic go to Saudi Arabia, even though it looks like Pulisic doesn't want to go to Saudi Arabia himself. But it seems like there was actually some talks, not between Pulisic. He just rejected it. Jeff Carey saying, is Gio gay? Kinks like Vans. Gio Reyna is engaged or married, so it's safe to assume that he's not gay. Okay, Jeff? So if you're interested in Gio Reyna, that's a no-no. I don't know if he's actually married right now, but he's engaged to a lovely woman. Actually, I don't know her, but she's probably a very nice woman. So no, Jeff, unfortunately for you, he is not. So let's move on here. That was Cole Campbell, right? We talked about Gio, talked about Cole Campbell. Another transfer that happened, this one was today, and I'm going to talk about it briefly. Johnny Cardoso is confirmed as an Atletico Madrid player. He did well for Internacional in Brazil. They had a deep run in the Libertadores, and he was crucial in that midfield. He made a move to Real Betis. He was really good for Real Betis in La Liga and even in the Conference League run that they made it to the final and lost to Chelsea. And now he's going to Atletico Madrid, I believe, for 30 million euros, Johnny Cardoso. Now, he hasn't been performing well for the national team, the U.S. I do think we need to persist on him. And I've been talking about this quite a bit. So DePaul leaves Atletico Madrid, and Simeone brings Johnny as essentially his replacement. I'm expecting Johnny to play a lot for Atletico Madrid. If this guy can play for Atletico Madrid, he can play for the U.S. national team, right? Actually, we know he can. We have to find a way to figure it out between Johnny, whether it is a little bit of the coaching staff, whether it is the player. This is too important for some nonsense takes from some fans that I've seen before. It's just so much stupidity. You have to persist on a player of this caliber, right? We're talking about Atletico Madrid that will play in the Champions League, a club that that it's clearly number 3 in La Liga, a club that would completely dominate MLS, for example. And then we're persisting on players like Luca De La Torre, Sebastian Berhalter. I'm sorry. You have to find a way to get Johnny going with the national team. It seems like he can be one of the best players in the national team, right? If we can get his club form. That is all I have to say. I think the bare minimum is you call him up and you give him minutes in pretty much every camp leading into the World Cup. You find a way to get him to play well for the national team. It's too important, right? One can even argue right now, he might be, out of all the national team players we have, he is the one playing for the strongest club. Rightfully so, right? Working his way up. Like, seriously, who's the other one? Malik Tillman, right? By Leverkusen. Milan has been struggling with Christian Pulisic. It's probably Johnny, and he's expected to start. We're going to keep track of Johnny with Atletico Madrid. We'll see how he does. But let's skip on Johnny here because that's all I had to say. He's replacing DePaul. Those are some very big shoes to fill. Very, very massive shoes. And you know what they say about guys with big shoes, right? They have big feet. Let's talk about Malik Tillman. Because we're talking about a guy that has big shoes to fill. And boy, oh boy, Malik Tillman has some massive shoes, like as big as Ronald McDonald's shoes right there. Because this guy was signed by a record fee for Bayer Leverkusen. Record fee. Malik Tillman. And he's replacing no one less than Florian Wirtz that went to Liverpool. He's going to probably be playing as a central attacking midfielder for them. I'm assuming he's expected to start. It's a record fee for the club because it's 35 million euros, as you can see it there on screen, the ranking of the record transfers for Bayer Leverkusen. And there are also add-ons, right? There are also add-ons for this fee. So Tillman's back in the Bundesliga. He was with Bayern before. Obviously, it didn't work out with Bayern. They sold him to PSV. Sorry, he got a loan to Rangers, where he did well in Scotland. Then he got a loan or a full transfer to PSV, or it was definitely a full transfer at some point. I just don't remember if it was first a loan. I think he got a loan, then a full transfer to PSV. And then now ultimately he makes it back to the Bundesliga at age 23 as a much more mature player that's played very well in the Netherlands, had some good moments in the Champions League for a record fee with Bayer Leverkusen. They won the Bundesliga, not last season, but the season before. This is a very good team. I don't know exactly what I should probably have checked that before the stream, but I'm not as professional as the CBS guys, right? I'm not as professional as those guys. It's not like they know everything. I didn't really check. They finished, I think, second in the Bundesliga last season, if I'm not mistaken. Leverkusen. Let me see. Bayer Leverkusen. Bundesliga. Let me just check the Bundesliga last season. I actually want to know where they finished last year. Does anyone have that information? I'll check that later. Because the thing with it, he's joining a team that I don't think they'll win the Bundesliga, Bayer Leverkusen, simply due to the fact that they finished second last year. So they won the Bundesliga 2 seasons ago, and then last year, obviously, Bayern Munich won it. And I'm expecting Bayern to win it again this season. I don't think Leverkusen will surprise Bayern like they did two seasons ago. They also lost their coach, Xabi Alonso, that went to Real Madrid. But this is a top 3 team in the Bundesliga, a team that will go to the knockout phases in the Champions League. Malik Tillman gets a very good move here, record transfer. And that's what we're going to be doing about. And let's keep going here. Who else did I want to cover? Timothy Weah. And then we're going to get to Ajiman. That one's my favorite. That one's my favorite right there. Ajiman. That's the best one. But this one here, understand, Fabrizio Romano reported this today, that Olympique Marseille are now in advanced talks with Juventus for Timothy Weah. Agreement with the players in place. He wants to go to Olympique Marseille. He wants to go back to France. Talks are ongoing over a loan with a buy clause to become mandatory. Transfer fees still being discussed, but Olympique Marseille wants Weah, as revealed in June. So this will be fun because if Timothy Weah goes to Olympique Marseille, I'm going to be tracking him every single weekend, right? Because we do the U.S. men's national team abroad series here at the channel where we cover the Americans abroad every week. Every weekend, every Monday, we do a recap. So it'll be fun to watch Tim Weah, and at the same time, I'll be able to hate watch Mason Greenwood. That'll be lots of fun right there. I hope Mason Greenwood doesn't do well. I'm not wishing anything bad upon the guy. I'm just hoping he doesn't play well. It would be a shame if something bad happened to him. But anyhow, we're going to see Tim Weah there. If Olympique Marseille wants him that bad, I'm assuming it's to be a starter, and that's good for this year, right? A year before the World Cup. We're going into the World Cup, so we want our main players to be playing at a high level and playing for good clubs, right? And Will's saying, dude's got 400 dudes watching a stream just talking about U.S. men's national team transfers. This country has come a long way. Soccer has most certainly grown, Will, in this country. And I guess I've witnessed this before we started the YouTube channel. I've witnessed this growth just based off my day-to-day experience of playing soccer, working with soccer in the United States, in different states, right? New York, Florida, and even a little bit in Texas. So yeah, it's been growing quite a bit. Maybe not at the rate we would like it to grow. I would love for soccer to be much bigger. It would benefit me in a personal level, like for example, just with the coverage. But just something I'd love to have is a bit more of a bigger, stronger, and better soccer coach in the United States. But it's come a long way. It's come a long way. And they're saying only 80 likes. Guys, if you just made it to the stream, get those likes up. I would truly appreciate it. It helps the channel quite a bit. We have over 400 people here for quite some time, only 80 likes. Let's get it to at least 200. That's a great way to help the channel for free. Now, there is one more transfer to talk about. There are more happening, and we're going to do a full video covering all of this when it's all said and done at the end of the summer. But Derby County have completed the signing of our beloved Patrick Agyemang. The USMNT striker has signed a 4-year deal at Pride Park Stadium, the almighty Derby County. But let me see what Jeff Carey has to say here first. Jeff Carey said, my new favorite team is Chelsea. Chelsea, London neighborhood is sketchy. I love it. Guys, you got to understand. Chelsea, London neighborhood is sketchy. I've never been to England. Is Chelsea a bad neighborhood in London? I thought Chelsea was a wealthy neighborhood in London. Or is that just in New York City? Is that just in New York City? There is Chelsea in New York City. I know New York City very well, right? I grew up, how many years I live in New York? 6 years, roughly. Yeah, 6, 7 years. So I know New York City very well, but I don't know London. I don't know. Cubo Maker saying, we're all here for the Agyemang transfer news. Oh, this one's great. Because the thing with the Agyemang transfer news, one, I don't know why Derby County is paying $10 million for Agyemang. It's freaking crazy. I look forward to covering Agyemang in the USMNT Abroad series. This is going to be very fun. And I hope he does well. Just to be honest, before anyone says you hope he fails, like, no, I hope he does well because it'll just show levels to the EFL championship. I don't want him with the national team, but I hope he does well. What was interesting were the comments. So the first one was MLS moves, and then you have good luck. He ain't that good. This was a good one. And then the replies are too funny. He said, played with an injury and still was your first choice striker. How shit are the USMNT? It's just the Brits, man. They don't follow something and they speak with so much authority about like Agyemang being the first. He's not the first choice for the US men's national team. And then you have like weirdos like this guy Colt. Don't listen to USMNT accounts like this guy. They thought Gio Reyna was an all-world player. It's like, I love this one with Gio Reyna. You know the Copa Trophy? Do you guys know the Copa Trophy? Let me put this on screen because I love it when people try to rewrite history. Copa Trophy 2021. Let's go through that one. The 2021 one. There it is. Let me put this on screen. If I can. Okay, I got the full list. Because people talk about Gio Reyna. Remember what this Colt Elmstone said. Not the brightest. Not a smart guy. Can clearly see. This was the Copa or Coupa Trophy, whatever way it's called. It's essentially the best young player in the world award, the Ballon d'Or of young players. And this was back in 2021, where Pedri won. Incredible player, Pedri. Jude Bellingham was second, Jamal Musiala third, Nuno Mendes, the left back from PSG, right now, fourth, Mason Greenwood fifth, Saka from Arsenal sixth, Florian Wirtz, there he is, great player right there, sixth. Ryan Gravenberch, that I believe went to Bayern and then went to Liverpool recently. He's with Liverpool. And then Gio Reyna was in this list with Doku from Manchester City right now. So it wasn't U.S. men's national team fans that were alone hyping Gio Reyna. Gio Reyna globally in 2021, 2022 was seen as a top prospect. So don't let anyone bullshit you into saying that U.S. men's national team fans were making up Gio Reyna hype. This guy had double-digit goal contributions at age 18 in the Bundesliga in one season. 4 goals, 7 assists. This guy won the Nations League with the U.S. men's national team as a starter at age 18 or 19, whatever, scoring, I believe, in the final against Mexico. I think he scored, playing well. He was a world-promising player. He was. Now, a lot of things happen, injuries, the mindset is probably not there. His parents being crazy soccer parents, Greg Berhalter, a lot of things happen to Gio, and it's mostly on him because he let all of that affect him. The injuries, maybe not, but everything else. But anyone trying to say that it was U.S. men's national team fans hyping Gio Reyna when this dude was in 2021 named a top 10 prospect in the world, not by Americans, not by this guy, not by anyone else. It's just so freaking stupid. Those are the guys that show for MLS on Twitter. He's going to be around better players, playing in a higher standard league than yours. There ain't much room for. This is what is freaking funny. He's going to be around better players, playing in a higher standard league than yours. There isn't much room for progress, hence why he came to England. somewhat debatable because I mean he went to freaking Derby County. That's not a powerhouse, dude. It's Derby County. It's a team that can very well be playing in League One next year, right? They can be playing the third division of England. I don't know what's wrong with these fans just believing this complete, utter nonsense. He went to Derby County. This is not a team known for success, right? Give me a fucking break. Do I have to keep repeating myself? It's dark. Like, what is wrong with these fans? Better players. It's Derby County. Would Derby County defeat Charlotte FC? It might be 6 and half a dozen. It's kind of like arguing. Let's put it this way. Let's say I take a shit right there and you take a shit right here. And then me and you start arguing which shit smells better. Derby County, Charlotte FC. Are you fucking kidding me? Higher standard? Anyhow, again, you have soccer in your name. Again, the insecurity. I just wanted to go through these comments because it's just wild to me how crazy. Don't listen to my fellow Americans hating. Hope he shines. I mean, we hope he shines. We're just being real about the level of this player. It's not looking good. It's just not looking good, man. It's just not looking. And Chris saying MLS shows spreading propaganda. Watch his Gold Cup highlights and see for yourself how bad he is at the moment. Yeah, there you go. Someone with a freaking reasonable take. There you go. Someone else, Elijah, feeling sorry for the Derby fans. Anyhow, this is beating a dead horse at this point. These are the update on the transfers so far for the U.S. men's national team players. We talked about Gio. We talked about Johnny. We talked about Tillman. We talked about rumors with Pulisic. We talked about the rumors that I am on the list. I am on that really nasty list, which they're all fake. I'm not on that list. Even though I said I couldn't deny or confirm, I'm denying it right now. I did not go to the island. I can promise you. I didn't go to the island. The only island, I've only been to Bahamas. That's an island. Japan. That's an island. And Hawaii. Those are the only islands I've been to in my life. I promise. I promise you very much. Now, is the rumor about Gio true? I've covered it. I think there's interest from MLS, but I talked about the conspiracy where Tom Bogert didn't report. And for MLS news, right, transfer news, you have to go to Tom Bogert. He hasn't reported on it, right? I don't think, I hope I'm right. And I'm right a lot. I'm right most of the time. I don't think Gio is going to MLS. I don't think he's going to MLS. Okay. I think this is being used by his agent to leverage some deal in Europe because in MLS, they can offer a much higher salary to Gio. He's American. They would want to market him, so they would pay much more. So they can present to whoever he's negotiating in Europe, hey, he's got this offer from LA that they'll pay $2 million a year. Can you cover that? That's what I'm speculating. I don't really know. I don't have any sources close to Gio Reyna or his agency or his dad, thank God. So I don't think he's going to go to MLS. I think the rumor is true, but I don't think he's going to go to MLS. Jeff Carey say, Tack, I'll pay $500 to be on your show as a co-host. Jeff, I'm trying not to get canceled here. So thank you. That is a very good offer. $500 is a lot of money. I can do a lot of things with $500. I appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't accept it. Ashton is saying Jimmy Conrad said he was going to have dinner with Cherundolo, so let's hear it from the horse's mouth. Well, but here's the thing. Jimmy can talk to Cherundolo. It doesn't mean Cherundolo will tell him everything, right? Or he could tell Jimmy and say, Jimmy, you can't say this, right? Jimmy will ask him, but it doesn't mean Cherundolo will tell Jimmy everything or tell Jimmy that, hey, you can say whatever you want about this Gio thing. They're saying Tack is making shit because he doesn't want Gio to go. I'm not making shit up. My speculation. Listen, everything I presented to you all makes much more sense than Gio going to MLS. I make a ton of sense. Gave the American saying here for the inevitable references to diarrhea and stomach disruption. I didn't talk about diarrhea today. I talked about me taking a shit there, you taking a shit here, and then us arguing which shit smells better, which is essentially what the Derby County fans are doing when they're arguing about which one's better, Derby or Charlotte. That's what they're doing. They're taking a dump here, a dump there, and then they're just arguing which one of them smells better. They all smell bad. They all smell terribly. They don't smell good. Oh, yeah, there's this too. Damian Downs went to Southampton. That happened a few weeks ago, actually, 2 weeks ago. We're going to do a full recap video of all of this. So I actually should probably write that down. But I'm going to do that in probably August. And actually, there's one more rumor that I'd like to cover because Derek Ritchie has been right a lot. And Derek Ritchie from the Straight Red Card, he reported this today, just now. Make sure you follow Derek on Twitter. He sometimes drinks on stream. One of my favorite guys that gets drunk. One of my favorite drunks on YouTube. He said, update, this stuff is fluid. Word from the source this morning on Josh Sargent, the move is most likely Wolfsburg, who are willing to pay Norwich's full asking transfer fee. I think we're hoping this goes through. Perfect move for Josh Sargent. So Derek is saying that Sargent will go to Wolfsburg. I don't really take much of what Derek says with a grain of salt. I think if he's saying it, it's probably true. I mean, he's not saying it's a done deal, but it looks like Josh Sargent is heading back to the Bundesliga. Okay, that's another one. Sick the Kid is saying, I'll pay $3 to take over your channel. That's a tempting offer because you can take over the channel. Then I can just start a new one. And I'll catch up to it very soon. Very soon. But I'm going to reject the $3. I think you got to pay a little bit more than $3. Dragon the Abandoner is saying, I always thought Europe was unfair to U.S. players and ostracized them. Help Ajiman kill that. I hope Ajiman kills that. Now I have no more excuses for Gio. Yeah, I mean, I hope. Oh, Ajiman killed that. Yeah, because the fans were excited about him. But again, it's Derby County. Most of the top teams still reject Americans, even when the American players are good. It's Derby County. Like, do I have to say anything else? It's Derby County. They're saying, Brian, thank you for the super chat, Brian. And then Sam is saying, Cole transfer rumor. I covered Cole Campbell's transfer rumor. Just go back on the stream. It looks like Eintracht Frankfurt and Stuttgart are interested in Cole Campbell, and Borussia Dortmund wants between 6 to 7 million euros. We did cover that rumor. But everyone, don't forget to drop a like before you go. And when I close the stream, feel free to drop a random comment right now. I don't know, maybe rate the USMNT transfers, whatever comment you want to rig the YouTube algorithm. Actually, I have a good question for you. Not on the live chat, in the comment section down below. How many goals will Ajiman score in the championship this season for Derby County? Let me know in the comment section once I close this stream. And tomorrow, we have a big video, a great video that you're not going to want to miss out. Tomorrow, we have a video of unexpected players that could make it to the U.S. Men's National Team World Cup roster. It was a very fun video to put together. It's a little bit of my opinion. It's a little bit of data and news that we have. Unexpected U.S. Men's National Team players that can make it to the U.S. Men's National Team World Cup roster. These are players that are not in the World Cup roster prediction video that I put out. They're not in that video, but they could make the World Cup roster. It's a very fun video. It'll be out tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you for watching, everyone, and have a great day. I'll see you guys, I guess, tomorrow. You guys will see me on the video. I know you guys are taking a dump right now while listening to me. That happens a lot. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I watch a lot of YouTube videos when I'm in the restroom. Who doesn't these days? It's like back in the day when our parents or grandparents would read the newspaper. Now we sit on our phones and watch YouTube while we drop the Mr. Hanky. Okay? Have a great, what is it today? Wednesday? Have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.